You're sitting right next to them on the couch. Same room, same blanket, same person you once felt obsessed with. And somehow, you feel completely alone. They're scrolling. You're pretending not to notice. You want to say, "Can you feel how far away you are right now?" But instead you ask something small. "Are you okay?" And they say, "Yeah, I'm fine." Short, flat, closed. And right there, your chest tightens. Your mind starts racing. Why does this keep happening? Why am I always the one feeling more? Why do I keep ending up with people I have to reach for? Am I too much? Am I the problem? Here's the truth no one tells you. You don't keep attracting avoidance because you love too deeply. You keep attracting them because your empathy can feel like safety to people who don't know how to create safety for themselves. And you need to hear this. You are not failing at love. This is not proof that you are needy, broken, or choosing wrong every single time. By the end of this video, you're going to understand why super empaths and avoidants lock into each other so fast, why it feels so intense in the beginning, why it hurts so much later, and how to stop confusing emotional labor with real connection. Let's get into it. Most couples believe attraction is about chemistry, about spark, about mystery, about "we just clicked." But the real truth is deeper than that. Your nervous system is making decisions before your conscious mind can explain them. And when you're a super empath, you don't just notice people, you read them. You feel what's beneath the surface. You pick up on tension, longing, silence, and unspoken pain almost instantly. That feels like intimacy. But sometimes, it's not intimacy at all. Sometimes it's pattern recognition. Sometimes it's your attachment system locking onto someone emotionally unavailable because their distance activates the exact part of you that learned love must be earned, protected, or rescued. And on the other side, the avoidant doesn't always feel cold at first. Honestly, they often feel deep, thoughtful, wounded, quietly intense. You sense all the feeling beneath the surface and you think, there's so much heart in there. And you're right. But heart and availability are not the same thing. That's where most people get trapped. Most couples think the problem starts when one person pulls away. But the real truth is the cycle began much earlier. The moment one person felt responsible for closeness and the other person felt safest when closeness had limits. So what looks like soulmate chemistry is often an anxious avoidant loop in beautiful lighting. Not destiny, not bad luck, not some cosmic test. A pattern, a very human one. And once you see that, everything starts to make more sense. 1. You fall for potential, not presence. Most couples don't realize how often they confuse emotional depth with emotional availability. Most people in relationships think they feel so much beneath the surface, so if I'm patient enough, loving enough, safe enough, they'll open. That hope is powerful and dangerous. The deeper truth is this. A super empath is often incredibly attuned to hidden pain. You can feel the tenderness under someone's withdrawal, the fear under their silence, the longing under their walls. Meanwhile, the avoidant feels strangely relieved around you because your presence says, "I can sense what you can't say." Their nervous system relaxes in your warmth, but that does not mean they are ready for mutual connection. It just means you are easy to receive. Here's what that looks like in real life. Disconnecting version. You say, I know you've had a hard life. I know you're not good at opening up. I'm not going anywhere. Connecting version. You say, I can have compassion for what you've been through and still be honest that I need someone emotionally available now. That's not cold. That's clear. And when you do that, the relationship stops being built around who they could become and starts being built around what feels real in the room. 2. Your empathy makes them feel safe until it makes them feel seen. Here's the part no one talks about. At the beginning, most couples mistake emotional attunement for compatibility. You notice the subtle shift in their voice. You ask the deeper question. You feel what they're not saying. And for the avoidant, that can feel intoxicating because most people don't reach them there. But here's what nobody explains. Being cared for and being known are not the same experience to an avoidant nervous system. At first, your empathy feels soothing. Later, that same empathy starts to feel exposing. They feel your presence getting closer to the places they've spent years protecting. And something inside them says, if she sees all of me, I'll lose control. Or, if he needs access to my inner world, I'm trapped. So the very thing that created connection starts triggering distance. You see it in conversations like this. Disconnecting version. You say, talk to me. I can tell something's off. They say, nothing's wrong. You push again. No, I know you. And they shut down harder. Connecting version. You say, I can feel something shifted. You don't have to talk right now. I just want you to know I'm here when you're ready. That lands differently. Because not louder conversations, not better wording, not one more perfectly timed late-night heart-to-heart, but emotional space that doesn't feel like emotional abandonment. That's what lets an avoidant breathe. And when you do that, the walls between you start to come down without either of you having to force the moment. 3. You start earning love instead of receiving it. This is where it gets really interesting. Most couples don't notice the moment connection quietly turns into performance. You stop asking, does this relationship nourish me? And start asking, what do I need to do to keep them close? That shift changes everything. Because beneath the surface, the empath often starts living in hypervigilance. Your nervous system becomes like a smoke detector that can't tell the difference between a delayed text and actual danger. Meanwhile, the avoidant feels the pressure rising and interprets your increased closeness as demand. You feel abandoned, they feel engulfed. You move toward, they move away. And both of you secretly feel misunderstood. Your internal monologue sounds like this. I just need to say it better. If I can stay calm enough, soft enough, loving enough, maybe this time they won't pull away. Real-life example. Disconnecting version. You say, it's okay, I don't need much. I just want a little reassurance. I just want to know we're okay. I just want you to tell me I matter. Connecting version. You say, I'm noticing I'm working very hard for basic closeness, and that's not the kind of connection I want to build. That sentence changes the energy. Because this isn't a communication hack. This is what it looks like when someone has learned to love without abandoning themselves in the process. And that's the shift that turns a relationship that feels like a negotiation into one that feels like a refuge. 4. Their distance activates your identity. And this is the one most couples never figure out. Most people in relationships think they're reacting to this partner. But a lot of the intensity you feel is older than the relationship. The deeper truth is that avoidant behavior often hooks into an empath's identity. You may have learned early that being the calm one, the understanding one, the healer, the emotionally mature one made you valuable. So when someone withdrawn enters your life, part of you doesn't just feel attraction. Part of you feels purpose. You become the bridge, the interpreter, the safe place. And bro, that can feel incredibly meaningful, even when it's quietly draining you. For the avoidant, this dynamic can feel familiar too. They get to receive warmth without immediately offering equal vulnerability, which soothes them at first. But over time, they may start feeling your hope as pressure. Her brain is quietly registering, "He needs more of me than I know how to give." His mind is whispering, "If I fail her here, I'll disappoint her the way I always do." Here's how it plays out. Disconnecting version. You say, "I just know there's a softer version of you in there. Why won't you let me in?" Connecting version. You say, "I care about you deeply, but it is not my job to pull intimacy out of someone who is not choosing it." That's the moment you come back to yourself. And when you do that, your partner stops feeling like a wound for you to solve and starts revealing whether they are actually capable of meeting you in something real. 5. Intensity is not intimacy. Here's the part that can sting. Most couples are trained by movies, trauma, and old patterns to trust intensity more than steadiness. So when an avoidant gives you a little closeness, then distance, then tenderness, then silence, the highs feel electric. The longing grows. The attachment deepens. And you mistake emotional whiplash for profound connection. But intensity is just activation. It is not always safety. It is not always compatibility. It is not always love. The nervous system loves familiar chaos because it recognizes it. The empath feels the pull of almost. The avoidant feels safer in doses of closeness than in sustained presence. So the bond gets built on intermittent reinforcement. A tiny bit of warmth, then withdrawal, then repair, then drift again. It's like trying to live on emotional breadcrumbs and calling it a feast. You hear it in moments like this. Disconnecting version. You say, "When we're good, we're amazing. That has to mean something." Connecting version. You say, "The good moments are real, but consistency matters more than chemistry if I want peace." That's wisdom. Not cynicism, not giving up on love, but finally valuing the kind of connection your body can actually rest inside. And when you do that, love stops feeling like a roller coaster and starts feeling like somewhere you can exhale. 6. You read their wounds, but miss their choices. And here's what changes everything. Most couples spend so much time decoding each other that they stop evaluating each other. You become brilliant at understanding why they shut down, why they withdraw, why conflict makes them go numb. But understanding someone's pain can accidentally blind you to their patterns. Compassion matters. It matters a lot. But compassion without discernment is how empaths stay stuck. The deeper truth is that avoidant people are not villains. Many of them are carrying old emotional injuries, shame, and a nervous system that learned distance equals safety. He feels flooded. She feels cornered. They feel exposed. That is real. But here's the line you cannot afford to blur. Trauma explains behavior. It does not automatically transform behavior. Not more patience, not more psychoanalyzing, not more saying, "I know you're scared," but clear-eyed honesty about whether this person is actually doing the work of repair. Watch the difference. Disconnecting version. You say, "I know you pull away because of your past, so I'm trying not to take it personally." Connecting version. You say, "I can respect your past and still need accountability in the present. If we matter, repair has to be mutual." That is grown love. Because this isn't a trick for avoiding conflict. This is what two emotionally mature people naturally do when connection matters more than ego. And when you do that, the relationship either becomes healthier or becomes clearer, and both outcomes set you free. 7. The real shift is choosing reciprocity over rescue. This is the deepest point of all. Most couples never ask the question beneath the question. Not, "Do I love them?" but "Does this dynamic let me be fully loved back?" That question changes your life. Because the super empath's greatest temptation is rescue. To believe your patience can heal them, your loyalty can soften them, your insight can reach the part no one else could reach. And man, sometimes it can help. But a relationship cannot survive on one person doing the emotional carrying while the other person remains half withdrawn behind old walls. Reciprocity is different. It means both people turn toward the relationship. Both people repair. Both people risk honesty. Both people become emotionally available, not perfectly, but consistently. Real-life contrast. Disconnecting version. You say, "I just need to be more understanding. They love me in their own way." Connecting version. You say, "Love in their own way may be real, but I need love that can reach me, hold me, and participate with me." And here's the internal shift. Something in you starts saying, "I'm done auditioning for closeness." Something in them, if they're capable of growth, starts realizing, she doesn't want perfection. She wants presence. And when you choose reciprocity over rescue, you stop chasing scraps of connection and start becoming someone who only builds where love can actually live. So, if this video hits something deep in you, here's what I want you to remember. This is not about becoming colder. It's about becoming clearer. It's about learning that your empathy is a gift, but it was never meant to become a full-time job inside your romantic life. When you internalize this, you stop romanticizing distance and start recognizing what real connection actually feels like. You stop over-functioning. You stop confusing longing with love. You stop trying to drag intimacy out of someone who only offers it in fragments.
And you become the kind of partner who can bring warmth without losing self-respect, compassion without self-abandonment, and presence without chasing. These aren't just tips for a better relationship. They're the beginning of becoming the kind of person who no longer begs love to stay, because you've learned to choose love that knows how to remain. Real intimacy begins the moment you stop trying to rescue unavailable people and start requiring mutual presence as the price of entry.